If you had asked me coming into this season, are we going to look like the 2009 defense? I'd have said, fuck you.
Yeah. 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. He's going to go. Holy cow.
Big Red Junkies.
Day by day. Day by day. He gets better and better. We get better and better. Team is chasing me. Team is chasing me. Oh, man, woman, and child, he just turned this stadium inside out.
In one sentence, Jed, how would you clarify your feelings about the first half of the season?
You think I can only do
One
that
sentence.
in one sentence?
One sentence.
Give me a run-on sentence.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to have lots of commas in my
Can't
sentence.
breathe. Can't breathe.
Jesus, that's quite a way to have me answer that question. I will say, it's a lot like the little clip video that we put out after the first or second game that a lot of people watched. This season has panned out close to what most people have thought thus far into the season. Maybe not the reason why we've gotten to where we're at is 3-3, but realistically, most people at this point would have had us at 4-2 or 3-3.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of people had us at 3-3.
either we are where everybody thought we were going to be at this point of the season, or we're only one game off of where you thought we were going to be.
Yeah.
So realistically, the journey has been very rocky, but we're still basically right there.
I had us at 11-1, so I'm calling bullshit.
Well, of course you
Matt,
did.
you're the outlier here.
That is
You're the
very
outlier.
true. I said most people.
You lost.
It was also a
you
complete
make
fucking
a really good
accident,
point
so.
because even myself, I had Illinois as a 50-50 game where I thought maybe we could lose that game. I thought they were going to be a lot better this year. They were dog shit. They're proving to be really, really bad this year. And
The season
I
preview?
thought Colorado was going to be a lot worse than they are.
That doesn't make our win that much better if you say they're dog shit. We got to win. Yay.
No,
It's our first Power
we take
5
wins.
road win
We don't
since
care.
when?
We take wins and move
It's
on.
our first Power
Now.
5 road win since when?
A long time.
Like 2018. So, yeah.
Well, that's not true because we've won Big Ten games. Oh, road.
Power
I'm
5
sorry.
road win.
Sorry, I didn't hear the word
Yeah,
road.
Power
part. I was
5
like, wait a
road win.
second.
I was like, no,
I'm pretty positive I saw that it was since 18. That
We're
we
not
had
talking
won a
about
Power
basketball.
5
We have
road
to check
win.
out yet or betting.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Um,
I mean, no, like I had us on a preview show. I had us at 4-2 at this point.
you did.
So
We should have beat Minnesota, so I agree.
It's
4-2.
one game off.
Yeah.
So it's
One
not.
fumble off.
I mean, it's a handful of turnovers off. Whatever the fumble actually is.
What's your one sentence, Matt?
Average.
Average, just
That's
one
not a
word.
sentence.
Just
You
average.
need to have at least an
No.
adjective in there.
You can have a
I
one-word
think
sentence.
one word's better.
Jesus wept. There you go.
Jesus Christ.
No, it's,
Long save us.
Jed nailed it. We've got a lot of we've progressed from last year, but we've got a lot of work to do.
What did
That's
you
where
think,
we
Bacino?
Messy, but our defense is kind of ahead of schedule, I think.
Way ahead of
I think
schedule.
our
What do you mean,
defense
kind
is-
of?
I think our defense is where I expected our defense to be 4 years from now. I truly I think our defense is way ahead of schedule. Light years ahead of schedule.
I don't know that I'd say 4 years from now because Tony White won't be here in 4 years. But I get your point.
No,
But
I'm
he
just
would
saying,
have been if they
I'm
weren't this
talking
good.
from preseason thinking about it. I never in a million years did I think our defense was going to catch on the way that it has and catch hold the way that it has.
It's because of new scheme. Man.
Well, and I was looking at the stats. If you actually if you eliminate the two non-Power 5 teams that we played, we're still only giving up, including that 249 yards to Michigan, we're still only giving up 93 or 97 yards per game to Power 5 opponents. And that is still good enough for 17th in the country. Right ahead of Georgia.
And we have a couple games to improve on that in the next
Oh,
couple
yeah,
weeks.
we
I think.
absolutely
No,
do.
absolutely. And compared to where we were just this time last year, is light years ahead of what we've been
It's
doing.
amazing.
Well, that's
It reminds me a lot of what Chenander was doing 2 years ago when everybody's like, "Oh, we better pay him. He's gonna get a great job somewhere." I think that a lot of people are freaking out and thinking Tony White's gonna be gone after this year. I don't see that because any coach can come in and have a fluke season with the right group of guys, and it just clicks.
But if he
So
does
you're
the
gonna
same
have to
thing
see
next
this
year,
at least 2 years in a row for for everybody to go, oh, fuck yeah, no, he's definitely a guy we got to scoop up as a big-time coach.
Well, and that's what I was saying. If I had to do one sentence, I'd say the culture is better. The wins will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
actually,
I think you're still seeing the culture being shaped when you're seeing guys enter the transfer portal the week of the Michigan game. I think you're still seeing that, there's some of those guys out there that they might have jumped in the pool, but they ain't quite dipped their head under yet.
Right.
And so he's gonna get them out. He's gonna weed that out. And we talked about a lot on our post game show for Michigan that the culture thing and the scrubbing the 5+ years of loser mentality away is gonna take more than 4 games.
I totally agree.
And people are gonna have to be patient.
But
with
it's
that
better.
stuff.
That's what
It's
my point.
absolutely better.
Yeah.
It's absolutely better.
The way that we bounced back after taking that horrible loss to Michigan proves to me that it's better.
Has anybody seen? So they came out with 2 of those "What's Next" videos today or yesterday.
I thought it was today, and it was at 7:00, so we haven't really gotten a chance to watch them
So one of them dropped early today.
yet. Okay.
Either last night or whatever. But it's really good. The second one starts with Cam Linhart sitting on a bench staring at the camera from across the locker room. And it's a quote from him, and he's talking in the background. And he's talking about how we came out angry. And actually, no, I take it back. Cam Linhart staring at the camera. Ty Robinson, it's a quote from him at the podium talking about how they were angry. They were angry after Michigan. They practiced angry after Michigan, and they came into the Illinois game angry. And that's what they did. They executed. They were angry, but they weren't. But they executed.
One of my favorite things from the Matt Rule press conference the other day was when somebody brought up penalties and all that stuff, which obviously has been a problem, especially pre-snap penalties. And they asked, Rule said that he was standing in front of the team and then asked them all, like, as coaches, what can we do to help you basically not do this shit anymore? And it was Quentin Newsom. He said Quentin Newsom stood up. He said, it's us. We have to do it. Not you. Us.
I love some of the leadership stuff I keep hearing about
Absolutely.
Quentin Newsom.
And it's also accountability.
Yes.
I love that.
They're taking it a lot more.
Goddamn goosebumps.
Yeah, they're taking it a
So
lot
early in
more.
the show
Yeah.
to get goosebumps, too.
That's going to happen.
Jesus.
every time.
Leave it to Jed to leave you.
They're
Not even drunk yet.
Yeah, I was like, they take more. If you look at it, yeah, they're taking
That
more.
goes to the
more
culture,
of it.
what you said.
Yeah, exactly.
These players are taking more of the blame than we've seen in the last couple administrations.
As opposed to having a coaching staff that likes to point fingers at everybody else.
They kind of had a cop-out the last few years because they could be like, well, we don't actually have a coach right now.
Yeah, he's somewhere else.
It's like blaming the previous staff all the time for your own issues. I wonder who that could be.
Yeah, 4 or 5
exactly.
years into it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, no, you just didn't have your players.
That's the funny thing about that is the previous staff talked about that so much that everybody was so tired of hearing it that they're not giving any credence to Rule when it comes to the damage that Frost did. And that's not fair.
As I said, that is definitely
I'm not
unfair.
saying that Rule should be up there saying, look, did you guys see how much of a shit show this was?
Did you see how much coke he consumed?
Yeah.
I don't know if I actually saw that, but
any of you
but
still
I get
bitching
your
about
point.
it. Go out and
Some
watch
of
the
them might have.
Cocaine Bear movie and come back and talk to me. They wrote that about Scott Frost.
Yeah, my first day on the job, I got to my desk, I opened up the bottom drawer, and it all fell out. I don't know.
It's like a baby powder party in there.
Scarface was there before that.
No, you said, Anthony, you said something about the defense and how well they've been playing, and you referenced you take out the non-Power 5 teams that we've played. We are at 2.66 yards per given up yards per carry, which obviously phenomenal. You, BJ, you
That's
made the
with
comment.
Michigan in there.
Yeah, you made the
With
comment
Michigan,
the
yeah.
other day on previous shows where hell, last year we were hoping for
4.5.
4.5 yards per
4.5
carry.
was our like, let's get under 4.5. Can we get under 4.5 yards per carry?
If you take out those 2 non-Power 5 teams, we are still at 2.99. Again,
Isn't it-
that's with
and that's
Michigan.
with a terrible Michigan game where they really
Yes.
didn't show up. Admittedly, almost.
Wasn't
Like,
going into
Matt
Michigan.
Rule basically came out and said, we didn't show up for that game. That's on me. That's on the players.
Yep.
That's on everybody.
Everybody.
Didn't Nebraska show up to that Michigan game as the number one against the rush
Yeah,
defensively?
yes.
That's what I
Well,
thought.
in the conference, they were like
In the
three. They
conference.
were like 3 in the country.
Okay,
So, yeah,
that's
whatever.
what-
But it was like
What
it was
is-
like a
is it Army or some-
0.2 yard differential. Like that was it.
Somebody,
It was Army and Tennessee, I want to say.
some
nationally.
some group of five
Yeah.
school has like they're
No,
giving
James
up,
Madison.
James Madison. Yeah, it's
And
they're not playing anymore.
They're
so it
about
doesn't
ready to be
fucking
ranked, though.
Are they really?
Congratulations.
Yeah, they're about.
Wow.
But also,
First
you
time
can,
in school
also
history.
with that defense, you can look at it. We're not missing a lot of tackles.
No.
They're making those open field
They
tackles.
had 5
We
missed
got-
tackles against Illinois.
Yeah, as you pointed that out, I
The most
remember you
was
talking about-
against Colorado, and it's because Shadur Sanders was behind everybody running around like an idiot.
Sure. The Illinois game, the more like I went back and watched the key plays the other day, actually yesterday, and the more that I've watched of that game, the more it looked like Illinois' players don't give a shit. Like their players look like they don't give a shit, and Brett Bielema looks like he's confused as fuck on the sideline.
So what you're saying is our culture's better than theirs.
It looks like it this year.
Finally,
I don't know.
Finally,
No, I mean, kind of a joke, but not really.
No.
Well, but that's some of why he looks so confused on the sidelines is that he legitimately doesn't understand what's going on with his team this year.
Yeah.
They're
I don't
not
know.
playing like they did last
No.
year.
He watched that dude limp off the field like
He still looks like
I've never
he's
seen somebody limp before. What is this?
he still looks like he's
Oh.
trying to figure out if it's a fart or
At
a
least-
shit.
yeah,
Like,
I was,
he's a-
I was just going to bring that. You said it the best in our text messages. and
he
you brought
looked
it
like
up on
that the
last show. I was
whole
like,
goddamn
that
game.
was perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly what his face looks like every time they show him on TV.
Every single, it's just, I'm not sure what's
Someone
going to
just
come out of me
farted.
right now.
So
But like as of right now, like I said, we're under 3 yards of carry allowed.
That's amazing.
You know, the last time Nebraska had under, I know we still have at least 6 games left. The last time we were under 3.
I have to go 09.
Yeah,
Yeah, way to ruin it. Nice.
Yeah.
Sue
had
and
lots
Jared
of-
Crick.
Yeah.
lots
Those
of tackles
dudes-
for losses.
Those dudes did not allow running up the gut in that.
And
on that
actually,
team.
and again, we still have half a season left. We're actually better than them right now because they were at 2.79.
And they still had to play Texas. I think twice.
Twice-
They played
no,
twice.
That's
once.
twice.
Just once.
Yes,
we played Oklahoma in there too.
Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah,
I
it was not an easy sled either way.
Yeah.
Just remember that
But
Texas.
they also
game.
had like 5 or 6, 7 tackles for loss.
But if
that
you had
season.
asked me coming into this season, are we going to look like the 2009 defense? I'd have said, fuck you.
Absolutely not.
You would have been that
Running
obvious,
the new
No,
right?
I'd have said, fuck you.
All right.
know-
Well,
what's funny?
if you would have known that, you would have predicted 12-0. So I mean,
That's-
instead of
yeah,
11
absolutely.
Yeah.
I said, fuck Michigan.
You know what's funny about you saying that thought we would have looked like 09? We're not running anywhere near the same scheme,
No.
but I think we actually look very similar to 09. It's very rare that we don't have at least 4 guys starting on the line. And with Nash Hutmacher and Ty Robinson doing the damage they're doing inside, we actually do, like, he's not getting the bull rush. Hutmacher's not getting the bull rush on the quarterback like Sue did consistently, but they are as disruptive as those two dudes were next to each other. Definitely, there's been no combo like them since.
Yeah, there's not the explosiveness that 09 defense had.
As much flash, I guess I would say.
That's a better way to put it than explode.
And
Yeah,
not near enough
Yeah.
emphasis on 1 or 2 players like there was
correct.
there.
There's also not been near as much emphasis on the back end with the takeaways.
Because
And that's part of the flash and the explosiveness and everything else.
some of that is just the new defense and the
Yeah.
fact that it's so goddamn confusing.
Yep.
Tony White talked about that a little bit in his press conference this week, too. I think he kind of mentioned that, there's only so much they can teach these guys and work on with these guys that they didn't know or weren't doing before. And that's probably one of those things. It's like, hey, look, we're going to learn the fundamentals first. The flash, the takeaways, those things are going to come later. And that might be what we're still waiting on from the development standpoint this first year under Tony White.
Hey, you know what we're missing? Your one statement.
My one statement?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
is
give
your
us your
one
one
sentence
sentence.
statement? Actually, very fair.
My
fair.
one sentence statement would be, what a fucking roller coaster. Just because, like, emotionally, I have been.
Especially being at the Minnesota game.
I think I have been
God,
more up and down in this season than I have probably since the second to last year of Frost. Because there was a lot of anticipation and hype going into that second last year of Frost that he was finally going to, these are all his guys finally, and things are going to be different this year. It's going to be awesome. And we got really worked up, and the Nebraska media is really good at getting us, believing and hoping and things
True.
like that. And
Doesn't
and-
take much, but yeah.
I was
and,
going to say, that didn't happen to me at all this year.
That was the first year that Jed and I did the podcast. And so I was a little more invested in Husker football that year than I'd ever been. Because I've always been a huge passionate fan. Like I love watching it, but it was like
You bought in.
for 20 years or for 15 years. I'm not quite that old, but for 15 years, all I've done is watch football and get drunk. It's not like I'm watching it to actively like pay attention, break it down, and really focus on it a ton. And I was stoked that year because I was joining Jed to ramp up this podcast and get this stuff going, and I was more focused on it. And this year so far, I came in with higher hopes than I should have.
Like
But
you do
at-
every year.
But
that's
at
okay.
times, they've
I don't wanna hear
lived
it.
up to some of those hopes.
Yep.
Like in this Illinois game, like I said, it's nice to finally be in a sloppy game like this and come out on the right side.
Comfortably.
And be the ones going, ooh, that sucks.
Well, it's funny you mentioned drinking. I mean, I'm so used to getting drunk to forget. I'm actually wanting to get back to the times when I got drunk to celebrate.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. That'd be really
No,
nice.
you're not wrong.
Wicks and me, we celebrated on Friday.
Absolutely.
Did you?
Yeah,
What'd
yeah.
you guys do?
We were at my house. We had some chili and some.
And some shots.
shots.
And some
A lot
more
of shots.
shots. And every time they scored a touchdown, we did another
Speaking of
shot.
shots, but I think we need some shots.
I think
What do
we do
you
need
It's
a
fun
Go
as
Big
fuck.
Red.
Go Big Red.
And this may be the most unbelievable night in Cornhusker football history.